I'm a gentleman and welcome to the Gentleman's Pixel Club.
And he was a gentleman, but do you ever wake up in the middle of the night wishing that you could be British? Then you need this Bible. There was many of these, and this is Viz top tips that will give you good ideas, good clues on how to interact with fellow countrymen like myself and countrywomen as well. And I'm going to give you 2 tips from this book at random. So I'll pick a random page. Here we are, a digestives biscuit topped with tomato ketchup and a slice of processed cheese that makes a popular mini pizza for kids' parties. And we'll go for another one. Prolong the life of underpants by spraying them with Scotchgard before use. I wouldn't recommend that one, but it might well work. So what are we doing for you today? On our silly little channel with our wonderful round British logo that you can see flashing there, we're playing a game called Planetoids on the ZX Spectrum. And before we get into this game, this was based on an arcade game. There was an arcade version of this game. I want to show you what the arcade game was like. So we're going to be using the MiSTer FPGA as above me to be recreating this on the ZX Spectrum, but the arcade game we're going to be using Mame. So let's just flip across to Mame, and this is Asteroids, and this is what the original game was based on that we're about to be seeing at the moment. So you've got a little UFO spaceship there, you've got rocks flying there, and your object is to basically blow shit up. So I'm hitting start to put a coin in, and then player 1, here we are, and I can turn left, I can turn right, I can fire, I can go forwards, and you can also hyperspace as well, which jumps you to a random position, and your job is literally just to blow shit up. So, you know, I'm this little rocket, this little ship in the middle that's aggressively firing, not really moving very far at the moment because I don't need to, because I'm in 100% control of what goes on. As the levels get a little bit spicier, you know, you have to move a little bit, you know, you got your thrust to do that. See, I moved out the way of that one, and by spicier we're talking about more rocks that start appearing, more things that are going to be there just to try and wipe you out, try and get in the way. But not a hard game to play, but a fun little game to play. There was this version, and oh, I thought that was going to get me there. There was this version, and there was another version called Deluxe Asteroids as well, all playable on Mame, but this isn't the main highlight of what we're doing here. I just want to show you what the original game was. You can hit the UFO for lots of points there, and if I can clear that rock, which I'm not going to do just yet because I want to be in a bit more centre of the screen, you'll see why in a moment if I can actually hit the bloody thing. Oh, another UFO's appeared, and it's a little one as well. Okay, he's gone. Let's try and get that rock. Get out of the way, get out of the way. You get a whole load more rocks appears, and it's repeat like this. So, you know, you're this poor hapless soul in a spaceship flying around, you know, trying to survive, and I got myself blown up there. And we will play this one particular session out until no more lives are left. And this is what Planetoids was based on. Planetoids came out on the ZX Spectrum. It was released by Sinclair Research, and it was by a company called Sign that released it. I've recently done a video on this channel called Space Raiders, and Space Raiders was an exceptional version of Space Invaders that they did as well. Died again there, as you saw. And, you know, it was worth showing the original to then show how closely they made it. And although Planetoids was not quite as good as the version of Space Invaders that they did, you know, it was a very close second. And I always find it a little bit incredible that in the release life of, oh, look at that skill, let's do a hyperspace, there we go. The hyperspace can often put you in a really bad position, so I really shouldn't be there, and I shouldn't be too near the edge of the screen there as well. But yeah, I find it really amazing that these games came out very early in the Sinclair Spectrum life. And let's put the GPC in, because we are the GPC. So here we are, where's G? Come on. And PPP, and OP. See, there we go, GPC. I found it really amazing that these games were so early in the Spectrum's life, but they were absolutely A1 conversions. But as I say, this is Asteroids. You've seen it played on Mame. You've got a brief idea of what the game looks like. So bear with me one moment while I just swap over to the ZX Spectrum running on the MiSTer FPGA, and I'll be right back.
On your last trip, did you discover what the Earth people eat? They eat a great many of these. They peel them with their metal knives. Boil them for 20 of their minutes. Then they smash them all to bits. They are clearly a most primitive people.
For mash, get smash.
And here we are back in the room. So through the wonders of a brief advert from the 80s, that was the Alien Martians from Mash Get Smash. We are back with Planetoids. So we've got pretty much the same controls. We can rotate the ship to the left, we can go right, we can fire, we can thrust, and we can do hyperspace. I've not played this for a long time. I'm going to be very, very poor at it, and I have to use, unfortunately, the keyboard to be doing this. So I'm just taking a look at the keyboard to get what my keys are going to be, because this is now keyboard controlled, and we're going to do our best on Planetoid. So C to continue, or C to commence. Rotate, yes. Oh, he moves a little bit fast. He has got a lot of speed there, and this is not a bad conversion when you think of how many years old this is. How limited the Spectrum was, and I think they did a good job. And there's the box art. You can see the box art on the screen, effectively just below my logo and above my talking head there, of what this game was. It came with another game. It came with another game called Missile, and the other game was absolutely awful. I've played it a couple of times. And they're hyperspace for you. Where are we going to be? Oh, that put us right at the bottom. Oh, and move. And you saw we were right by the edge of the screen. Did you see we also changed colour, because the Spectrum had something called colour clash on it, where you had overlapping colours, and they all merged into one. But it's quite pretty. They've added an explosion for the alien spacecraft that you saw, the UFO ship, and this works quite well. And we're going to see how far we can get into this game. So let's blow up that alien again. It's going to be rinse and repeat. We're going to get lots and lots of exactly the same stuff, depending on how well I do. But it wasn't particularly hard. But Missile, oh sweet holy hell, the Missile game that came, I thought I was going to be dead there. The Missile game that came with this was absolutely awful. I was going to load it in, but you know what? It's not worth playing. That will get people to turn off the video at the best of times. Now, the pixel collision detection, seems to be in my favour here, because I'm sure a couple of those bullets came reasonably near me, but it didn't get me. But I will lose my life soon. It can't carry on like this. There we go. I lost a life. I didn't deliberately do that, but it happened. One of the key differences. Oh, and I flew into a ship there as well and died. One of the key differences that I seem to recall is on the arcade version that we've just played. When you shoot the asteroids, they bounce off quite aggressively into different directions. This happens a little bit lesser here, and the asteroids are really not so big, but we are being peppered by a shitload of weapons, a shitload of bullets from the alien, so I can move out the way from here. But it's getting a little bit busy on screen, and a little bit faster, which is quite incredible. And I'm dead, which was quite incredible based on the limitations of this machine. So we're going to hit start again. We are playing this on the MiSTer FPGA, because this is a fun old game to play. Why is it not doing C to commence? I don't know. I was probably hitting the wrong key here, but I love the way that your ship is really zippy, and it shoots a lot. I died quickly there, and it shoots along very, very quickly. When you hit the thrust, there's no gentle maneuver. It's like 0 to 60 immediately. I'm not even sure what unit of speed they would have here. Would it be warp? Who knows? Star Trek, I think, invented warp. And yeah, you see, you're quite good with the collision deflection there in your favour, because I was right by those bullets and it didn't get me. So there must be effectively a centre pixel in your spaceship that when it does hit, you are going to be dead, because I'm sure those bullets can hit you from the alien. I've just been well to avoid them, because narrowly missed, let's say. It was just a flesh wound and it just scraped it. But to think back in the day, and there's that phrase, back in the day, but it's a true phrase. I fly into the fucking thing. To think back in the day that you would remember playing your 10p's into these arcade machines. You would have a couple of goes on it, but you would be able to go home and you would be able to play the original like this. Although it was a clone in terms of an unofficial conversion. Back then, conversions didn't mean anything. They didn't exist. There was nothing official. There was nothing unofficial. Nothing was licensed, and it was just a free for all for everybody. Come on, let's get you. Oh, Yeah, and he got me there. Yeah, it was a free fall for everything. So if you have to play this at home, you know, it would have tickled those dingleberries, and it would have reminded you of exactly what you want to be playing. Now, I am aware that Happy Coding, he has released a version of Asteroids, and I think it might be on the ZX Spectrum Next. I can't really remember where it came out. I am a Patreon of his, but you know, it's one thing that I haven't actually downloaded and had a look at that he has made available, and maybe I'll do a video of that at some point. But apparently it is a top-notch version, and it's got modes where you can change the colours. It has to be for the Spectrum X. I think it's absolutely got to be for the Spectrum X. But you know, this is a fun game to do. At the moment of recording this is the third video that I have made today on the day that is hot as hell in the UK, and it really is. Oh, I look at that, pure luck that I managed to get that alien ship without even aiming a moment ago. So we've got another one back there to destroy us. And I've noticed that when you kill him or her, because it's probably gender neutral, but I just don't know, their missiles disappear as well. So if you watch, if we're lucky enough to be able to blow up another alien spaceship in a moment's time, their missiles will vanish when they die. I'm actually having hard trouble hitting anything at the moment. Come on, up, shoot, shoot, shoot. Okay, so I want to say, if he's watching this, a warm welcome to my friend from Thailand who has just returned back to the UK in weather that is probably as hot as Thai weather right now. You know, it's so bloody hot here that, you know, you feel like you're abroad. You really, really do. All right, okay, so watch those missiles, those 3 missiles. If I can get that alien, come on. Oh, I can't line it up. Okay, yeah, I got him. It was the different 3 missiles, but they disappear straight away. So I'm not so up on this detection of the missiles hitting you, although when they did disappear, then they probably disappeared at the right time, because I was probably dead in the water. We might actually beat the high score. I think we had 16,000 points. Oh, out of the way of you, I think we had 16,000 points before. It's a little odd how your ship flies around, you know. It is so fast, and this is probably why I'm choosing to try and stay in the same spot a little bit, because, you know, there is not much control going on. There's a lot of tapping of keyboards that you can hear, but there's not much control of anything else. Yes, the ship has gone as well. So 16,100. I think it was 16,500 the previous score. So we've probably beaten it, but if we can get to 17,000 that we've done, we are on the high score. But I wanted to show you this game. You know, we're probably not going to play it a little bit more than what we've done already, and they're dead. 18,100, and still the show goes on. We're probably not going to play it again, because, you know, you've seen everything that you can really see on this. But oh, we've got an extra life as well. You saw that flashing away, so it wants us to carry on playing. So 20,000 points is obviously the tip over for the extra life, but, you know, this is a good conversion, and I wanted to show you what I would have had fun as playing as a kid, you know, games that I remember. And this channel is about looking at new stuff in terms of new retro games, you know, recreations, things that are done on the MiSTer FPGA, but it's also about looking at the old classics that really do bring back memories. And while we're speaking of memories, I truly wish that I could remember the author's name here, but I ask you this: go and have a look at my Twitter feed. And when I did the Space Raiders video that I did a release for, I can't just blow you up, that I did a release very recently of, on the Twitter feed, there was a reply from there that someone that has recreated the Space Raiders artwork, and it's very much like the cassette you see here on Planetoids at the beginning in terms of that style, but it looks absolutely astounding. So there we are, 25,100. This is game over, and this is the end of the video on a day that is absolutely as hot as hell. I'm the Gentleman. This is the Gentleman's Pixel Club. All of you stay safe, all of you look after each other, and all of you enjoy each other in this hot weather, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.